Good evening and welcome to Here's the Life with Zemrah and my better half, Ed.
Hello.
And as always, we're so happy to be here. We First of all, have a quick announcement that I don't want to miss at all. We have Dr. Yvonne Gilly Wallace and Wally Dobb Bennett. They talk about, and they don't just talk, they do the Veterans Initiative. And once again, it's already here. Can you believe that, Ed?
Again,
But you all look
Saturday.
forward to it. The guys really look forward to it because that's where the guys are able to really share with each other because they're veterans. And, veterans don't always feel comfortable with conversation. So for them to be able to talk and relate to each other, this cup of Joe is absolutely almost mandatory. I think it's a wonderful thing. And it's coming up this Saturday, April 15th. It's from 11 to 1 at 11901 South Ashland, again at Christ Universal Temple. And that's right on the corner. Everybody knows where Johnny Coleman's church is. It's again 11901 South Ashland Avenue. That's right on the corner. You take out 57, get right off, make a left, and there you are. You can see it. You'll see everything right there. And that's the Cup of Joe. Tell your veteran brothers, your veteran friends to join these guys for a good talk. They serve you a little refreshments and just good conversation. They usually might have a speaker. Last time they had what, Ed?
Yeah, we did have a U.S. Marine speaker.
Yeah.
He spoke. He was a career. Because he retired 20 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
and he was a combat veteran.
Oh, that was good. That's what she
Good.
said. So they say what they're going to do, they do it. And so what was the conversation like?
Well, it was about how to deal with transitioning from a mindset of war and being in the war area to getting back home, being debriefed that they usually sometimes never get,
Mhm.
and trying to get back into society on a normal life,
Yeah.
which is very difficult because military life is totally different. So getting back to seeing what you do see and getting into a war area, and then coming home, there's nothing to do. There's nobody to talk to about it.
Yeah.
They should have, like we're setting up now, the Veterans Initiative, someone you can talk to about your experience in the military.
And that's what makes that so wonderful, isn't
Right.
it? Because it gives you an opportunity to open up and share your innermost thoughts. And you don't because you're talking to someone that can relate. Because even you and I talk, you might talk a little bit, but it's not the same as talking to one of your veteran guys.
No, it's not. And most people, they say, they want to talk to you, but they really don't want to hear it. People ask you what's on your mind, but they don't really. It's a question that they really doesn't have an answer to it.
Or you can talk to me about anything at any time. I want you to always know that, and I say that
Oh,
openly.
that's no
But you know
problem.
that,
Yeah, I know that.
yeah.
But
Because sometimes I know, even with you, sometimes you tend to clam up or whatever, and I think it just all stems from that.
well,
It's not that you
it's a
don't feel.
rhetorical question. You ask the question, but you really don't want to know the answer. Because once a veteran starts talking about the answer, most people just clam up and say, okay, that's enough. I don't hear no more of that.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
mean, mentally, that's what they do.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
just cut it off.
But with you, when you're talking to the guys at the Cup of Joe, it's like
Yeah, they already
they done been there,
they
done
know
that.
what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so when I say that there's racism everywhere, I mean everywhere, even in the military, even in the war zone, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
And that's
it does
something.
happen.
Yeah. Well, that's this Saturday again, April 15th at Christ Universal Temple, 11901 South Ashland Avenue, right there on the corner, and it's from 11 to 1. And if you need any type of assistance or introduction where you're not really and truly getting or receiving the benefits that you deserve,
Or don't know how to apply for them.
yeah,
Come on down.
the
We'll show you.
Veterans Initiative is just absolutely it's been a blessing. I know it's been a blessing to us, and you know um, Just make sure that you go. Now,
Mhm.
on that note, we're going to talk about, we weren't here last week because we were blessed to get away for a well-needed little getaway, little vacation. And we did one of our favorite trips, and we did a cruise. We did a 5-day cruise, the Royal Caribbean, left out of Tampa, Florida. We went a day early. And we boarded the ship. Now, boarding the ship, I must say, was not as difficult.
Difficult as it was before.
It really
In
wasn't.
earlier days.
Yeah, it was. It was. They made some arrangements on that and made that a lot easier. But that was one of the things that was really and truly a perk. But one of the things that Ed and I noticed is that cruises are not the cruises that we've been on in the
They
past.
used to be a very luxurious way of traveling.
Yes.
Everything was top shelf.
Oh, wow. Yes.
Yeah.
But more than anything, not like I could go, I usually all during the time I'd be on the cruise, I'd be performing because I'd find me a keyboardist that's playing jazz in the jazz room and go and give him my keys. And he'd be asking me, you coming back tomorrow night? You coming back the next night? And I'd wind up, I remember the cruise. Remember the cruise that we was on with Carlton?
Right. One night, the captain and his crew showed up.
They did. They were standing there in amazement. It was just wonderful. But I mean, it's like no more midnight buffets where you could get up and go to a buffet in the middle of late at night, 12 o'clock at night or 1 o'clock in the morning, where they'd have the midnight buffet where you could just get your plate and just eat like it's
all night long.
And then they used to have a burger bar where you could go and get a burger,
a chocolate fountain,
right? A chocolate fountain, the ice sculptures.
Yeah,
I mean, they were absolutely beautiful. And one of the things that I noticed too was the captain's ball, where everybody would be decked out
in their
and
formal
dressed.
Gowns and everything.
That would be a no. It was like, now our group, we was clean. We gave you a little run for your money. But some people, I mean, it was like no big deal.
Flip-flops and shorts.
Yeah. And it was not the cruises that we have always been used to. Yeah. I mean, like you would have, the refrigeration where they would have drinks in there, sodas and water and all. All they have now is where the refrigerator is like a cooler, where if you have your own water or something, you can come and just put it.
You're talking about in the room?
In the room,
okay.
Where you could just come and stick your bottle of water in the cooler, where it would keep it just like cool, but not cold.
Wine cool.
Right. So you could ask your attendant, for to bring you some ice. They did that. But, and he'd leave a little where he'd make a little animal on your bed, maybe stick your sunglasses on it. But they used to leave, loads of information and, it was not the same. It was not the same.
No, it wasn't.
And then when we went to Cozumel, Mexico, where we just more or less walked the port.
Well,
we didn't really get off and do a lot there because of all of the chaos about Mexico.
There is one excuse. This was spring break.
Spring break?
It seemed like everybody had 4 kids.
Yes. Spring break was, we never, ever went during, and we love children because we got babies and we got 14 great grandkids. So we know about children, but this spring break for us, because we could not even really get into the swimming pool for all the teenagers and all the children. I'll tell you another thing. Wasn't the elevators. I mean, you had to wait for the elevators for forever.
Well, you had
because they were pushing the button.
But you had 2,000 people on the
No, 2,300. Yeah, 2,300. Right. And looked like 2,000 of us kids. Then it was like, normally, they'd have like a where you could go and get ice cream bars and,
in the middle of the night.
yeah, or you could just go. They had their little, their little desserts and all. But normally, you could really and truly get your um, different Haagen-Dazs and all of
Ice
that.
cream.
They had the little ice cream cones, but that was ice milk ice cream coming out the machines. And it's like, since I guess the pandemic, so much has really changed. But I was just amazed. I got a chance to set in with these guys the last night
Where are they from?
of the cruise. I don't even remember.
Argentina or something.
Yeah, they was a bad jazz band. There was three guys, bass, guitar, and drums. The drummer was just phenomenal. And so I sent him a note, and we were coming to check out because it was the night before we were getting ready to leave that morning. And so I said, man, they sound good. I said, let me see. I'm gonna keep it simple. See if they know summertime. Do it in key of G, and let's do this thing. So I wrote a note, took it up there, and so they played one more song, and then they beckoned for me to come. They followed me. I wanted to take them boys home with me. They were so
Good.
bad.
Oh
my
They
God.
followed you really good.
Oh,
really
they
did.
followed me so well. And they wanted to take me home with them. They wanted me to stay on
And
the
I
ship
think
with them.
And they only heard about jazz.
Yes. Oh my God. They were just they were good. Really, really good. So what else? I mean, it was not, we basically just kind of relaxed. People didn't really go really that far, especially in
Well,
Mexico.
The word on the street was there's a lot of crime going on in Mexico,
Right.
and that someone said that even the police were robbing the tourists.
Right. So you wanted to
So we didn't.
look at our
we
producer.
We didn't go too far.
Yeah, so we kind of said, and then we were with a group, two couples of our gang, Pat and Chaz and Dolly and Larry, and then my girlfriend Denise, who was just phenomenal. We just love you, Denise. If you watch our show, we just want to give a thank you, a shout out, because when we came back, we stayed a couple of days with her,
That's
and
our
she
Florida
took us around
connection.
Florida. Oh yeah. And then we got a chance to see another couple of ours that is so phenomenal, so very, very successful in the insurance business and
See, I thought
investments.
I thought about that because I kind of like Florida. It was so clean.
It was.
I mean, I didn't see trash on no streets
Yeah.
at all, even in the development where they live.
Yeah.
And on the highway to that and anywhere else, there was nothing on the street. Clean.
Yeah.
And how warm was weather. It was like 10,000 people at the beach.
Yeah.
Along the beach, along the peninsula.
Yeah.
Out there partying all night long.
Yeah.
Out the back of out their cars, barbecuing all along the beach.
Yeah.
Till late at night.
Yeah. Only thing about Florida, though, I think, the weather is very, very humid. I know in Mexico, back to Mexico right quick. Mexico, as soon as we got off the ship and went into went on land, boy, it was smoldering. I mean, it wasn't that it was that warm. The humidity was so high.
The humidity makes it hot.
Yeah.
But see, I was on vacation to be on vacation.
Yeah, he was, because we looked for him, and he walked up somewhere else, sitting down, relaxing, and we were out there looking for him. I'm saying, Lord, did somebody snatch him? So they were saying, you go this way and look for Ed, and I'll go this way, and we was all over trying to find you.
Y'all was about running around. I was about relaxing.
Yeah.
I was on vacation to relax. I got on the ship and found me a lounge chair by the pool.
Yeah.
And that was it.
That and pina coladas. And every time we looked up, that's what
There
you,
was some
Larry.
great pina
That's
coladas.
what you, Larry, and Chaz was doing. Y'all was pina coladas.
You go on vacation,
and chilling.
Do all that running around.
Yeah.
Find your place on the beach and relax.
Yeah, well, we didn't even get to the beach. That's what was something. We didn't even get to the beach because in Cayman Islands, they wanted to do a tour, but they was going to tour you around the neighborhood or something, and we just wasn't that comfortable. It's like after the pandemic, and there's so much crime and so much of all of that happening, it's almost like you were afraid to really or uncomfortable stepping out there. And then after hearing about people robbing, and then after the incident that had happened in Mexico 2-3 weeks, because I had called Royal Caribbean 2 or 3 times to make sure that they had everything in place, and if there was going to be any issues, were they going to detour or whatever. But they said they were comfortable with everything, and if there was any issues, that they would do that. But our uh, flight was good. The flight coming back was a little rocky, but very smooth. And one thing I will say, the captain on the ship was very good, because half the time you didn't even know that you was on water. It was that smooth.
Right.
So that was very important. We didn't run into any bad weather. We had one little rocky moment, but that's when they were headed back to Florida, and it was just a little, just a little rocky. But thank God, our group, nor Ed and I, we didn't have to be bothered with any of the seasickness or any of that. So that's really a blessing on that note.
So if you think about taking a cruise and you don't have children, don't go during spring break.
Right. And another thing, we need to say the name of the ship too. We were on the Brilliance of the Sea.
Right.
And it was an older ship. I had no idea that it was an older ship like
because
that.
it comes out of Tampa.
Yeah.
And once you get about 3 miles out, there's a bridge you have to go on.
Right.
And the ships any taller than that can't come out of there.
Right.
So the bigger ships you see on TV, we got the roller coasters and all that stuff on them. They come out of Miami.
Yeah.
Because they don't have to come underneath that bridge. They wouldn't fit coming out of the other place.
Out of Tampa.
Out of Tampa.
Yeah, because when you look, you don't even think that the ship is going to be able to go under that bridge. Just makes it. Isn't that something?
Yeah.
That was a amazing there. But it was the Brilliance of the Sea. Now they say that it's a ship called the Allure that is supposed to be wonderful. Because on this ship, to me, I mean, they had one evening we went and saw a show. A tribute to what is it?
The sister out of
Dion. Lord,
you got me stuck now.
Celine Dion. Thank you, Ed. My mind is just wow. Celine Dion, and I must say, this girl was good. She was absolutely phenomenal. She had her style, she had her voice, and she was absolutely fantastic. She put a great show. The band was ready. The band was excellent. How many pieces? She had about 7 or 8. It was like an orchestra, right?
It was.
Yeah. But it was only, I think, about 6 or 7 pieces.
No, it was a little more than that.
What? About 8?
Yeah, about 8, at least 8.
Yeah, because I have usually about 7 to 8 for my concert. Yeah. She had maybe about 7.
Oh, okay.
Looked like. But anyway, they was on it. It was a great show. It started at 9:45, and it was over, I think, at 10:30. Yeah. And it was great. Then we had another. We went where they had something where we went to one of the bars, and they had named that tune, and they had a lot of the Motown artists where they would play just a smidgen of something, and they do like a smidgen of a tune, and you would have to guess it. And we was the ones that
our group
we got all. It was 20 of them, and you get 2 points for each, our whole group. And I mean, and we knew them individually. I mean, we helped with maybe a couple of them, but basically we knew all them songs, boy.
Like name that tune in 2 notes.
Yeah, name that tune. Now, Chaz was good.
Yeah.
Because Chaz got the one that I had no idea first time ever I saw your face that was Berta. I mean, a couple of bars, and that was all they played, and Chaz got it.
Right.
Yeah, so.
That was one I was stumped on.
I was too. Chaz got that. He said, That's the first time ever. Yeah. So it was really and truly. It's not. Usually the cruises. Some of the cruises that you go on, they have rides, and they have now look like that's what they got rides and
roller coasters and
yeah, and all of that. We didn't. None of that was on this ship. I think they had little things, but basically, you could go and get a massage. Well, that's normal. You could
that
go.
was
They
three
had
hundred
some.
and
They had
fifty.
a
That
couple of.
was $350.
No, the massage was $150.
It was a
No,
50,
no, no, it was two
no
hundred dollars.
$250 tip.
Yeah. Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's right.
Right. So it wasn't, it was some things to do, but basically not the real, they had some excursions, which we didn't do any of that because they just wasn't, we weren't drawn to any of those. But, basically we can just say that it was a sort of a relaxing vacation for us, an opportunity to kind of just get away. We needed it. We've been doing a whole lot of work, a whole lot of stuff last year, so we hadn't been away in a good while. And so this opportunity came through my girlfriend out of Tampa that used to live here, and we're a Humana family. And so I told Pat and told Chaz and Pat and Dolly and Larry, and so they were the ones that were able to join us. And so it's nothing like really and truly when you look at it, it's nothing like really joining people that are good people that you can travel with and that are with you as a team. And we had dinner together. We took the last dinner time, which was 7:45, and we'd sit there and eat and laugh and take pictures. And we look up, we're the only ones sitting there. It's like quarter to 11 and p.m. at that. And we just kind of really relaxed in that area and enjoyed that. But as far as having a whole lot of things that we used to be able to do, like I said, going and sitting in the bars and listening to good music, and then listening to me. Like I said, the last one, we got an opportunity where I, performed a couple of times with the band there. So it was just more or less a relaxing trip.
That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
If you ever go on vacation, don't try to spend your whole vacation trying to do one tour after the other, one excursion after another. Try to get some rest.
But a lot of people like that too. I mean,
I
that's what
know.
you rest at home. When you go on
Well, I know
vacation, I mean,
you
you want
work
to,
at home.
well, it's nice when you go on vacation to have an agenda where you want to make sure. I mean, we would meet for lunch, we would have our lunch, and then, like I said, we'd hung out together, but it wasn't, like I said, a whole lot to do. So basically, we did more or less just chill out and relax on the where the pool area
Well,
was.
I'm not saying that you shouldn't do uh, anything, but I'm saying that make sure you include just getting some rest.
Oh, I agree
And
with
relax so
that.
you can come back refreshed and get back to work, your job, and all other
Yeah,
responsibilities that you have.
yeah, I agree with that,
But
baby.
as far as we've been vacationing for years, so I run out of things to do.
Yeah, so
I want to
we
relax.
know and then you've been through a few little health things too, so that's another reason why you kind of wanted to
Yeah.
kind of relax, and it's nothing wrong with that. That was very important, and that's why I know that you
But
wanted to go.
but I am interested in that Alaska cruise.
Now that's something that people say. We were talking to our friends when we came back through Tampa. They said the Alaskan cruise, like a lot of people don't want to do that. They say that's one of the finest cruises you can go on. And I talked to a couple of other people why when we came back, and that was one of the things they were saying. You know what? I didn't heard that.
Yeah, the scenery is supposed to be breathtaking.
Yeah, but they just said it's just. So I want to do that. We'll do a 7 day, but next year we're looking forward to doing a Hawaiian cruise with Pam and Pat, and what they're doing is they are
Now that
doing birthdays, people that are hitting milestones. So we're looking forward to that. That should really, because she's got it. Pat has it set up where you're going to about 4 or 5 ports.
Yeah, that
So
sounds good.
Maui and what is it? The one that starts with a K or Ka, I don't want to say Kawi, but Maui and some,
Maui.
but about four. She got about 4 or 5 stops, so that should really, really be nice. And what's good about her cruise is it's set up where you don't have to pay a whole bunch of money up front and all of that. You have time to save and pay for it, so that's a good
Yeah,
thing.
because the golf courses on Maui are just breathtaking. I
Yeah.
mean, to play golf on Maui is like playing in a rose garden. It's just
Yes.
just absolutely beautiful.
Yes. And what I say too, just FYI, when you're looking for airfare, a cheap airfare, but still on a good, on a good airline, check on late on Tuesday night after 12 o'clock,
After 12.
12:30. You can always get a good price. I winded up doing that for ours, and I got we had to fly into Tampa, and it was 7:48 round trip for both of us because I called late on a Tuesday night. And that's a good thing. And I mean that's whenever you're traveling, choose to go late on a Tuesday night, and that's how you'll get a good flight.
Save some
And then we
money.
want to say this too: those that after you work hard and you do a lot, it is good to just take a breather and get away, like Ed said, and get a refresher for yourself.
Well,
And
you reward yourself
yeah,
for all your hard work. If you don't reward yourself, you'll become discouraged.
yeah,
So always set aside some time or some money to reward yourself to relax.
yeah. That's what Wilda always says too. Wilda is a very, very good friend of ours. She chairs my concert. She's my assistant. She assists me rather with my music.
She's a tour
And
guide.
she's just wonderful. And she's been on our show before. She she does her own travel
Yeah,
and a
travel
wonderful
agency.
travel agent, Wilda Belt. And she at 312-399-6256. If you want to travel and have everything precise and done for you, and you don't have to worry about nothing, you put it in her hands. One thing about this lady, when it's put together well. You don't have to worry about nothing. You pay your money and she take care of business. So again, that's Wilda Belt, Wilda's Fun Travel. Wilda's Fun Travel. You can go online and look her up. Again, her phone number is 312-399-6256. If you and let her know that Zemrah and Ed said if you want to travel and have a good deal and travel well and have it well organized for you, she does bridal groups, and she does couples and all kind of party groups or just people that want to get away. She's the lady
Yes,
to
church
contact.
group
Yeah,
cruises
yeah, because she
to
does
Africa.
all kind of, yeah,
Anyway,
Africa. She's putting together something coming up, I think, for South Africa,
right.
and she's just phenomenal. So Wilda's Fun Travel, and I always like to give her a shout out because she's very, very professional. A lot of times you get people that are just doing it for the money. This is her business, but she does her business and she does it well. You can depend on her taking care of business because she does that.
And you can tell your children that if you or them cannot afford college, save your money and take a cruise or take a trip outside of this country.
Yeah.
Because travel is the best education you can get.
It really is because you get an opportunity to see how other people live, how other people, you find out their culture because as a people, we're really the only ones without a land, language, and culture.
Mm.
Everybody else has that. So to be able to go out and see other people and how they live and how they work even, um, it makes all the difference in the
Yeah,
world.
check out how you feel when you get to.
Okay, our producer has a question. Now, one of the things that was very, very good. I'm glad you said
What's
that
the
too.
question?
That was a phenomenal question. What other expense? One thing about a cruise, you're on a ship because a lot of times people will talk about inclusive, but this is because once you get on the ship, you don't have to really pay for nothing unless you want to shop because you get your lunch, your breakfast, your excuse me, your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner. And we like to go to the dinner part of it because that's where you're served. Now they have the buffet
Serve yourself.
where you go and serve yourself and also for lunch. But you don't have to. Now they have some spots, and that is something too. I was surprised that they have some restaurants where you do have to pay. Yeah. That and we didn't bother none of that because if you already can go to the Windjammer where they have a big spread, and I'll tell you something else too. Even with that, it wasn't as big. I mean, it was some good dishes, but even before it wasn't what it used to be. And by being a Mexican Caribbean cruise, they had taco night, which was really really nice, and they had a big spread that was really good. But that was I'm glad you brought that up. Earl, who is our producer and keeps us on our toes here at Intellectual Radio. But that was really good because now one of the things that they only serve water, tea, coffee, and you can get orange juice,
Lemonade.
lemonade. The tea is not sweetened. You got to sweeten it yourself. And they have the packages of water. You can get 12 bottles of water, 8-ounce bottles of water for $24, which was, I thought, a lot. So what we did, and this time I noticed they did allow you to bring water on. So we bought us some water while we was in Tampa. And we brought us some bottles of water, some big bottles of water on, and and it was fine. But and you could bring some sodas too. But they have a soda package. I think it was like $50 or something. But the packages were kind of high. Like champagne, if you wanted champagne, which Pat and Jazz love champagne, and Dolly and Larry, well, Larry wanted it, but it was too expensive.
What was that alcohol package? You drink all you want for, what was that, $250 something?
It was up there because they didn't
Oh,
even
you
buy
had
it.
to be a drinker to get that package.
Right.
And I don't drink, so.
So except for them Long Island iced teas,
Yeah.
and then your pina coladas.
Pina colada.
Yeah. But even pina colada was $16. So look at her, $16 for a pina colada, and
It was good though. It was good.
yeah, but they didn't have the pina colada with rum.
Yeah.
So you're talking about rum. And then they were watered down. And one of the things in Tampa when we got back, we went to Bahama Breeze.
Yeah, Mama Breeze.
And those were some good pina coladas.
That was real drink.
Yeah. And I think they were like $11.
Mm-hmm.
So they were the pina coladas on the ship I thought were very high. That was kind of high, $16. And you have 2 or 3 of those every day. That got a little costly.
You save up your money.
Yeah. So those are the little things where I don't think before the pandemic that it was that expensive. But as far as your eating, we stayed where you could go and eat, and the menu was very, very good, and we enjoyed that. Which I'm the salad girl, so most of my meals were salad.
And you got a group of people sitting around eating, and the only thing they're talking about is what they're going to eat next. That's how they think. It was just food fest. What you have for lunch? What time is dinner?
Yeah, but that's what happens. I mean, on cruises, that's what
that's
what you wind up doing. And then they had a little thing off the pool side where they made roast beef
sandwiches
always
or something. Laid out for you just walk there and take what you want.
Yeah, but it wasn't as plentiful. It wasn't like for lunch. Like right on the pool side, you had them little roast beef sandwiches on the bread that was very, very hard, and I don't eat that. And then they had salad. So I had a salad.
Yeah, a bunch of salad.
Yeah. So, then they had the little where you could have some fruit punch, and then you could have the tea that you had to put sugar in, and then you could have water. So that was about it. Whereas I think when you're on a cruise, they should include your soda. If you want a
Yeah,
soda,
they should
you
include
shouldn't have
all
to
that.
pay for that. I got a soda the last night for dinner, and it was
$6.
I think it was $8. Yeah, so we had to pay for that, so that got tagged on to our room.
Yeah.
But anyway, it still was a wonderful trip because we hadn't been on one in a long time. We needed it, but one of the things, and like again, we love children. But if you want to go on an adult trip, and that's why we really have not even done the carnival before. But the carnival is it's happening. It's a lot of things, and then of course, they have the casino. But one of the things you can smoke on the casino.
So
So
in
now
the
they had
casino.
another side that you wouldn't smoke, but that side was so small when you come out of this lounge and come into I mean, it was full of smoke. I
Yeah.
was really shocked at that because the last cruises we had, I don't remember that where you could smoke and you could smell smoke. I was really shocked at that. Very shocked because I mean it was where it got into your clothes. That's how
It was full. It was tough.
it was full.
It's like
Yeah,
everybody was smoking cigars or something.
yeah. I thought, and then to me, and I think too, because of having so many children, the bathrooms seemed to have stay stopped up quite a bit too. So we experienced some of that. So I'm very particular anyway about that kind of thing. But um, like I said, it was everybody, everybody. The people were nice on the cruise, and your servers and all that. I do have to say that they were absolutely phenomenal. Now that's one thing. And the last night they were getting ready, and it's amazing because they were getting ready for the Alaskan
Yeah.
cruise,
Yeah.
and they said that when we get off the ship it would be 2 days that they would have to clean up. No, not 2 days, 2 hours that they would have to clean up everything. Now you're cleaning up behind 2,300 people where they're cleaning up, I guess, all along. But then they got about 800 or 900 people, have to remember that are working. And then we were thinking that, they didn't get paid well. We talked to one girl that was from Liberia or
Mhm.
one of the
African.
African countries, and she was saying how blessed she felt
Uh,
to be able to have that opportunity
they get
because
paid.
they get paid. And we were thinking that they didn't get paid like that, but they get paid very well. They don't have to pay for room and board. They don't have to worry about food, and they do get an opportunity to get off the ship if they want
And
to.
travel.
And that's what I'm saying. And they get a chance to travel. So they were getting ready for the Alaskan cruise, which was going to be 3.5 weeks. So
So that's a major industry for some countries.
yeah,
Because when they go up, they say, I'm going to work a cruise ship for a couple of years and send my money home.
yeah.
If I can.
Or if you have dreams or whatever, like she said, she had some things that she was going to want to do.
Yes,
So you got opportunities that you want to do, and then they have, like I said, the guys that played in the band, they were from other countries, and they were going to be there until July. They were booked there until July.
right.
So, and again, they don't have to worry about room and board, and they get, they look for the tips, of course, but they also get paid too.
They get paid very well.
Yeah.
You
So they don't.
consider
We're thinking that, man, do they get? But no, they
2,000 people at
they get
$3,000
good.
a piece.
Yeah, and then the gratuity, they get the gratuity, and then you automatically give them tips, extra money, because we gave our guy
That's built in.
extra money.
'Cause I think 20% is built
No,
in.
$16 a night.
That's built in.
Yeah, $16 a
So they
night,
get that whether you give them anything or not
and it's $16 a person.
per
So
person.
that was $32 that they got each day that we were there in the room. Yeah, so they got that, and then
That's
we.
why, if you think about it, that's the only fair thing to do because you want to keep somebody happy and content and treat you, with respect and and have a contented attitude towards you,
Yeah.
they have to be satisfied too.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
they can't be waiting to see if you're going to give them enough tip. So
Right.
their money's already built in.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Well,
So,
they'd have to have that.
so
But I'm saying, but extra. They look for that extra
the
too.
next is just
So we
frosting on the
gave our
cake.
guy extra, and it's not that he did anything really extra for us, but we went on and did that
He's just
because
accustomed to doing it.
exactly,
Because previous accusers, that's what they lived off of.
exactly.
But now they get paid anyway.
Yeah, yeah. So if you uh, um, a cruise is good. I mean, what can I say? You can't lose with it. They're just not the same. Not to me. At least this one was not. Maybe it depends. And then we've always did a 7-day cruise too. A 5-day cruise was nice, but we've always done a 7. And Norwegian is the one I love. Norwegian too.
Personally,
Norwegian, and then, but I was amazed that they did not have that uh, ice sculpture anymore, and they didn't have the chocolate bar
it
and
wasn't
all
top
of
top
that.
shelf.
It wasn't. It wasn't like it.
classy enough.
No, it wasn't. Not at all. But again, it was a getaway, and we say to those that you embrace and that you love, just to kind of tail things off. Um, to make sure that you embrace those that you say that you love and that you care for, which is very, very important, and make those calls and check on people and that you care for and let them know that, because Ed unfortunately lost his sister yesterday, and it was a shock. I mean, she had a few little issues or whatever,
Yeah.
but he gets a call, and so it's good to keep in touch with people. I mean, she's out of LA, and but it's good to keep in touch with people, let them know that you care, that you think about them, and what I always say, when you really think about, because I got to call Aura, because I've been thinking about her and thinking about her and thinking about her, and she might be tuning in and saying, "Yeah, right, you haven't called me, but I love you, Aura. If you're checking in, you know you're my baby." But those are the things that when you think about people, you need to reach out. That's God directing you to check in, and I think that's real important for us to do. Again, make sure that you, for your veterans, make sure you check out A Cup of Joe this Saturday, April 15th,
And bring somebody with you.
and bring another veteran with you, 11 to 1 p.m. Great food for thought, great conversation with someone that you can relate to. And we should have our Pamela Wilkes joining us next week, our relationship
Guru.
no, she says
Enthusiast.
enthusiast. Yeah, to talk a little conversation. We always like to talk about love and relationships and the importance of embracing the love and friendship that God has blessed you with. So we have coming up next, The Wise Wife. You want to stay tuned for that. And make sure that you check me out on Facebook. Um, Tell your friends. We always like feedback. We don't get enough feedback on our show, and I think that we try to give a lot of good food for thought and give you things that we hope and pray that makes your day fulfilled when you hear our show. So make sure that you check us out. Go to intellectualradio.com, put in "Here's the Life with Zemrah," and make some comments. Like Pam always says, you can go to Facebook, make comments about it. It can be good or bad, indifferent. We're not too proud. If there's a subject that you want us to talk about, that's sweet. Just let us know. And constructive criticism is always welcome, because that's how you grow. That's how you get better. So if it's something that you think we need to talk about or talk less about, just tune us in. We don't have a problem with that. And we're going to be talking a little bit more about health is your wealth. We always do that. And about the herbs and how to stay healthy and the importance, because we always know and always like to tell you, that health is your wealth. And so that's keeping your mind healthy and having a healthy mindset in all that you do. So we want you to make sure that you check me out on Facebook. Leave a comment again. We're on Spotify, my music, Love is Possible. Make a comment, go in and check that out. Pull a couple of the tunes. You Are is phenomenal for weddings are coming up, anniversaries, birthdays. You can use You Are but anything is just that sweet of a tune. And what's going on? What's going on? Check it out. So again, we're here every Tuesday from 6 to 7. And we hope that you will tell your friends, family, or whoever to make sure that you join. Here's the Life with Zemrah here at Intellectual Radio. We want you to have a wonderful evening and stay tuned for The Wise Wife. Have a good evening. And Ed?
As always, I want to thank Earl for providing me with a place to be myself again.
Have a good night.